it's time to check out my first video in English and my trip to the church of Santa Claus and the ancient city of Mira. Merhaba herkese. Hi, welcome to my first video in English. I'm really embarrassed of my German accent, but we'll get going soon and move from Kaş to Mira in the area of Demre, where the Church of Holy St. Nicholas is located. It's almost Nikolaustag. On the 6th of December in Germany, we celebrate the day of Holy St. Nicholas. We put out socks and some people also put out plates for this guy to bring us presents, and we'll figure out where he used to live. And as always, I'm making an announcement while the mosque is singing. Yay! There are so many greenhouses along the way. You also see it when you're landing to Antalya airport, right? Have you noticed that? That like there are so many greenhouses, and I think lots of vegetables that we eat in Turkey and also all around Europe come from this region. I mean, which makes sense because we are at the end of November, it's almost December and it's like warm. Welcome to our Demre. Wow, looks like a really big city, doesn't it?
It's smaller than Kaş.
Smaller than Kaş?
No.
Yeah.
No
It
way.
looks huge.
Looks way bigger.
It has skyscrapers.
It looks like a proper town.
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. There's police control.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Can
I
video
don't
this?
have. I don't have any documents for this car.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Got controls. Don't have any papers for the car. Don't have an international driver's license, but still nothing happened.
Why did he not take anything from you?
He just asked me, it's like, do you have a driver's license? I said yes. He said, do you have a German driver's license? I said yes. And then he said, okay, have a good day.
Oh, interesting.
Like in some churches here, they have service in this like Aramaic language, which is the language they used to speak in when Jesus was born.
So I guess year 0?
Yeah, BC 0, yeah.
Yeah, it's not BC or AC, it's just 0.
Ah, true. Yeah, so let's see where that museum is.
So yeah, the story of the church, like Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, he was a person who was spreading Christianity in the Roman Empire.
Was he? So from what I read is that this Saint Nicholas was like a pretty rich guy. He was always doing good things to people but wouldn't let them know. The one story that got particularly famous was when a good friend of his, who had 3 daughters, wanted to marry his daughters with some guys, but like they couldn't get married because he didn't have enough money, because apparently without a dowry, is that how you call it?
Yeah.
Dowry, yeah. You couldn't get married. So this guy, like Nicholas, then like threw money inside the house of this man. Anyway, so he was throwing inside money, and the money would land in the shoes of the girls, and that's why we still put out our shoes today. This on like Christmas, you know.
Oh, really?
You guys put your shoes out on Christmas?
Or your socks. Now on St. Nicholas Day, yeah, we do. But
So
you,
that somebody can put money in.
St. Nicholas Day is different from Christmas.
yeah.
So St. Nicholas Day is December 6th. Christmas Day is December 25th.
Yes.
When you talk about St. Nicholas stuff, you're talking about St. Nicholas Day and not Christmas Day.
No,
Exactly.
but for the US, Santa Claus comes on Christmas, so for you.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused because I don't.
Saint Nicholas was born in Patara, not here.
And I just said that's kind of far because it's like I said half an hour drive, and then I got corrected. It's a 2-hour drive, so it's pretty far. I mean, in ancient times, imagine they were like walking or taking the horse carriage, and then it's like you would spend all day on the road.
Yeah, but I guess he just moved here. I don't think he was commuting
He
every
didn't
day.
even know what was here.
Yeah, it's interesting why.
It's not like he looked it up and then he would be like, oh yeah, the weather is always really nice in Demre, let's move there, you know.
He didn't have Google Maps either. he was the head of this church. He built the church, but there were 7 like main churches in Roman times of Christians.
Okay.
One being in Hatay, that's the main one, Pavlus, St. Paul. And then one of them is St. Nicholas. And at some point, 7 of them get together in Nicaea, today is Iznik, near Istanbul. And they decide on which Bibles to keep and which Bibles to get rid of. So that's how they decide on the Bible today, actually.
And when was that?
3rd century. There is also one interesting fact that like this guy Paulus, St. Paul, changed the symbol of Christianity. It used to be fish, and he changed it to a cross, and he added lots of different things. So these all happened around the same time as St. Nicholas.
And we saw at one of those ancient cities cross symbols.
Yeah.
We still use the fish in Germany a lot, though. I mean, you would often see it like on the back of cars.
Yeah.
Like you see this Atatürk signature in Turkey, you can see the fish for some Christian people in Germany. And what I heard is that if we celebrate St. Nicholas Day on the 6th of December in Germany, that is because that's the day he died. Like apparently.
He died here.
Oh, okay.
In Mira, but he's buried in Italy. He's buried in Bari.
And
I don't know why.
There's a statue somewhere here as well.
Yeah,
right?
it's by the church.
Okay, let's
we'll
go
go
check
there.
it out. After we have our coffee.
Oh, puppies.
Oh my god.
Hi, puppies.
This looks a lot more like it.
This is the modern Santa Claus.
But why does he have a bell? Does he have a bell in Germany?
No.
So in the U.S. we have bell ringers on like around Christmas from the Salvation Army. They collect money for charity. They stand outside of like grocery stores and that sort of thing, and they just like ring their bells, and people give them all the change from their pockets.
We got some candles. I always get candles when I go to churches in faraway places. I don't know why. And then I light them. Look at this doggo. Hello.
Oh. Cute dogs.
Responsible for all dog content in this video.
If I had a choice, the whole YouTube would be dog.
Oh, he's already following us.
Welcome to the Church of St. Nicholas. With the aid of this audio guide, you'll embark on a journey through history. During your journey, you'll learn about both the church's history and architecture, and about the paintings on the church walls.
History.
In the 5th century AD, Mira was the capital of the Lycia region, and its bishopric the second most important religious center in Anatolia. From the beginning of the 5th century AD, during the reign of Emperor Theodosius II, Mira was a major urban center. After the earthquake of 529, the city was rebuilt with help from Emperor Justinian I. The renovation of an unnamed building by Emperor Constantine IX and his wife Zoe is recorded on an inscription from 1042 AD, which survives on the church grounds to this day. The building in question is most probably the Church of St. Nicholas. With the rise of Turkish power in the 11th century, the Christian population began to migrate to the mountains. Italian merchants made use of this development to appropriate Nicholas's remains in 1087 and transport them to the Italian city of Bari, where a church was later built in his name. The rise of Turkish dominance in the area led to a decline in Mira's fortunes, and by the 14th century, the city had lost its official status as a diocese. This part of the church, dated to the 8th and 9th centuries, was, like the previous section, also used for housing the dead. Unfortunately, many of the paintings from the 11th century haven't survived. The cross and the coiled vines adorning the walls around the Roman-era sarcophagus symbolize the afterlife. The statue which once stood on the lid hasn't survived. In Byzantine art, deises were representations of an enthroned Christ flanked by the Virgin Mary and John the Baptist.
This is from 1981 and he has bare feet. Or tamamen Google Translate, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so there is Google Translate German and there is English here.
Yeah, what I don't understand is, don't they have like any German person to proofread this?
I mean, the English translations aren't very good either.
I would happily volunteer. Jennifer was clever enough to figure out that everybody is touching his foot for good luck, apparently. And probably I wasn't supposed to touch due to COVID, but I already did, so I might as well do it again for the good luck. And he looks a lot like what we assume him to look like in Germany, right? He even has this like thing around his head that we have in Catholic Church for the holy people. This looks ancient. Wow.
How many different renditions of him have we seen so far? So we've seen the like newest Santa Claus at the shop, then the 1998 Santa Claus up top that has like the bag over his shoulder and that sort of thing. And this one who looks like the Catholic Santa Claus.
The figure at the bottom of the picture, to the left, lying prostrate with his hands raised in supplication, is the founder of the church, possibly a bishop or patriarch. In Orthodox belief, Christ will return on the final day and judge both the living and the dead. Thus, the deesis is frequently depicted in Byzantine tombs and burial crypts, comprised of 13 lines, of which now only 6 are legible, reads, "Christ forgive me." 2 simple candelabra flank the central window. The presence of candelabra and candles were common motifs in Christian tombs, which leads us to conclude that this area was once the burial crypt.
If we have any Greek speakers watching, they can probably make sense of those.
So this is the burial crypt of Saint Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, like this here.
Saint Nick? Is that what you call him?
Jolly old Saint Nick.
The chapel, which was originally built as a burial vault, houses paintings from the 12th and 13th centuries, the last phase of the church's construction. Although the identity of the bearded and white-haired bishop in the feature on the wall to the immediate left of the entrance is unknown, the raising of the right hand in a gesture of blessing is reminiscent of St. Nicholas. To the right of the entrance, on the semicircular apse wall, you'll see an image of 4 standing bishops. The short, dark-haired figure with the light beard, the best preserved of the 4 figures, is Eleutherius of Ilion, who lived during the 2nd century AD. Eleutherius was considered the patron saint of women and was said to have come to the aid of women during childbirth.
A man.
The name Eleutherius comes from the name Eleutheria, the ancient goddess of pregnancy and childbirth.
Okay.
The structure in which we
This
now
is
find
good.
ourselves is the southeast chapel, the church's 2nd chapel. An 11th century structure, the eastern apse wall houses an arched burial crypt.
All of these are original, or how many of them have been painted?
No, they're original.
Can we remember that one?
So this is Saint Nicholas' dog. He's been here for a while.
This courtyard was cleared of 7 to 8 meters of earth. The column heads and other architectural items which were recovered from the restoration are now on display. If you look to the west of the grounds, you'll see an arched burial crypt within which are scenes from Christ's descent into hell and the death of the Virgin Mary. The paintings date from the year 1118. The courtyard's outer walls, however, were built before then.
So we learned that on the 6th of December they have a ceremony here
Yeah.
because of
That's
Santa
a
Claus
shame.
Day.
I won't be here.
Yeah,
Would have loved to come.
it's interesting. It's very well preserved, quite big as well.
It's huge. And it's super empty. I mean, there's just us here, no one else.
Yeah.
So we bought candles, but it's forbidden to light candles here. So I'm wondering if they're... So why are they selling candles if you cannot light them anywhere? How on the 6th? So you can light those candles on the 6th of December. We're a week early. So we just arrived at the ancient city of Mira. This is where he used to live. And again, it's like at the church. There's just us, like almost. A couple of other tourists, but like very little traffic. Okay, so here we are at the Mira archaeological site, the ancient city of Mira, where Saint Nick, what I just learned he is called in English, used to live. And yeah, let's check it out. It's been a really nice ride with my Turkish and American friends speaking about the figure of Santa Claus and our cultures and different customs Anyway, let's check out the city and speak to you guys later.
It says museum shop in Turkish and in Russian. That's how you see how many Russians come here.
Okay, so there are no price tags on these things, which is usually a really bad sign in Turkey. Probably they are really expensive. At the other shop, I asked for the price of something like this, and they told me it was 400 lira.
Which is like
Yeah,
$27.
it doesn't sound like much if you just translate it. Okay, for example, how much would you reckon this is?
100 liras.
240.
Oof.
So are these like houses or tombs? What do
No,
you
they're
reckon?
tombs.
Tombs again.
So Lycians used to do a lot of this type of tombs just by the hills because they really valued tombs and dead bodies because they believed in reincarnation. So they wanted to preserve the bodies. You know, when you build in the city, there is war and everything else, it gets destroyed. They wanted to keep them safe.
I guess you have to believe in incarnation if you want to have tombs everywhere, because if not, it's really depressing to be reminded of death on
exactly.
every step you take. But like, these look so lovely. They could be houses as well, right?
Or like a very cheap hostel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, check this out. I did not see this coming. Wow.
This ancient theater is really big.
This is huge. The one
It's
in
almost like
Kash is-
Colosseum size actually, a bit smaller.
It's quite huge. Apparently almost the size of the Colosseum in Rome.
Yeah, it's one of the few remainings of the city. The city used to be quite big, but you can only see the necropole and the ancient theater now. Julia, what do you think? Is this a Roman theater or Greek theater?
I don't know.
I thought you were like the master of everything in Turkey.
I never claimed to be the master of everything in Turkey. But do let me know, I would like to know.
We think it's a Greek theater. I'm not 100% sure because of the lack of a platform. You see, there is only like just starts right away. There's that gate here, so it's a bit older.
It's impressive. What do you guys reckon were the best seats for this sort of theater? Like down there or?
Those look like VIP seats. Like if it was a Los Angeles Lakers match, there would be Jack Nicholson there. For sure.
But it's like a 2-kilometer drive from here to the church. So, I mean...
The city used to be that big, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, now standing on the birth city of Santa Claus, please do share the customs and traditions related to him in your country. Must have been the VIP seats. They're also really comfy. Okay, so we climbed all the way down here.
How is the echo?
Try it. Hello!
Hi!
And guys, we are in the car going back to Kash. Feeling a bit tired after a lot of tourist thing. Yeah, it's been fun, you know, but it's still challenging in my mind to accept that this historic person I've learned about so much in school and that I always somehow imagined in like winter coats and sweatshirts, used to live in this region and was probably not even wearing shoes, you know, let alone boots.
I mean, now we are almost in winter and it's so sunny. The person has probably never seen snow in his life.
Yeah,
Santa
most
Claus.
likely not, right? Gülle, gülle.